And I could just say Obamacare go, but I want to frame it a little bit. Twice, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in very narrow decisions, 5-4, upholding Obamacare and its subsidies that fund it, just most recently this past year. So I'm going to just kind of ask an open-ended question and let you wax on, because I'm very interested in your answer, and I think I've heard most of your answer in other interviews you've done. But what would you work to repeal Obamacare if elected president? And so, what would you replace it with?
Yes. Yes, I would. I think it's, of all, talking about the 10th Amendment, and just generally, where should power reside? First of all, it should reside outside of government, wherever possible. It should reside in our families. We should be empowered to make these decisions ourselves. And Obamacare took a dysfunctional insurance system, a third-party payer system where people weren't engaged in many cases in their own health care decisions, and put it on steroids and shipped the power back up to Washington, D.C. This president, a great example of why Obamacare is a disaster is it's 2,449 pages, I think, thousands and thousands of pages of rules, and he's picking and choosing the parts of it he wants to apply. He's ignoring parts of the law and enforcing other parts of the law. The bigger you allow government to get, the more corrupt it becomes. That is a form of corruption. If the law says X, then we should faithfully execute on that. And he's not doing it. He's doing whatever politically is the best, most easiest path to be able to have the federal government take over 1/7 of the healthcare, of the economy of this country. So I think it should be repealed, and I think there's ways to do it related to appropriations and other means, but we also have to have a replacement. And I think you could use tax credits. You could have a high deductible, low premium, catastrophic coverage to be the goal for Americans. It ought to be portable. People ought to be empowered to make these choices themselves rather than, and they ought to have the same equal tax treatment as a corporation does that deducts the health care expense. You think about how many people here are in the shared economy that are working part-time, just out of curiosity, like in Uber or something, or doing. If you look at the world we're moving towards, people go to school, they may have 2 jobs. So they may work part-time, they may work on a contract, they do this and that. That's the world we're moving towards. Our healthcare system was designed in 1950 effectively. It's totally irrelevant to the world we're moving. We should empower people to be making these decisions. The final thing I'd suggest is we should tear down every barrier that makes it harder for innovation to take place in healthcare. This watch, the left, I do this all the time, and when it's on TV, I get all the Twitter universe gets all up in arms. That this is not the most sophisticated watch, but 5 years from now, we'll have devices that will measure blood sugar, measure our heart rate, will send signals to our caregivers that you haven't taken your medicine. We will be empowered to make many of the healthcare decisions ourselves. And the whole focus ought to be to accelerate this into our lives so that we can reduce disease and improve health and lower costs. And much of what Washington does right now does the exact opposite. It impedes this. It consolidates power amongst a handful of providers rather than disperses it out where you get a lot more innovation and creativity.